Welcome back. We pick up the video where we left off and we're going to start drawing the arm of the truss. Let's give ourselves a new layer. So back to your layer properties command. We want a new layer. I'm going to call this arm, and I'm going to use green for this just so it's bright and colourful for the screen capture. So instead of magenta, I'll go for green and OK, and continuous lines, but remember to make the layer current. Then close the dialog box. Now there's two connection points for the arm onto the column. Okay, the first one is basically on the hemisphere of the circle, and the second point is a whole meter down from this one. This is pretty big structure. This is over a meter in size for the column. That's big. Okay, now to get a copy of a line, I could use the copy command, but the simplest method is to use the offset command. This will create a parallel copy of that line further down here, as far away as I tell it. Okay, so they use the offset command. This is offset, or I can type in O and return. It's one of the most commonly used commands in the software. The offset distance is 1000 and enter. I pick the line I want to duplicate, move up or down. If I zoom out temporarily, you can see that depending on which side of the line I go, a ghost appears. Let's put it back. Okay, I want my ghost to appear south of the original line, so move into this area anywhere below it and left click again. Now press escape when you use offset. It expects you to carry on and use it again. So press escape and we get a clear command prompt. Now these two lines aren't part of the column, so these need changed onto the arm layer. So you click the object. There's only two of them, so a single click is sufficient. Let me just show you how you pick multiple objects. I'll press escape. Now AutoCAD 2015 has improved selection in a number of ways. If I did a single click in this position and drag my mouse to the right, every whole object that falls inside that blue shape would be selected. So if I do another click here, all the pink objects will be selected, but not this cyan construction line. So another single click and you can see I've picked all those. Press escape. Let's do that from a different direction. Let's go from the right to the left. Single click, drag, and watch what happens here. Everything that's inside the green shape and anything that the green shape touches will be selected. So it took the pale blue line as well that time. Press escape. The new changes here are if you pick and hold the mouse down. Hold your left mouse down. So if I pick, and you'll see that I'm generating a shape. When I let go, just the objects that were inside were selected. So it's a bit more fluid. I've not used it much, but it will grow on me. Do the same from the other side. If you click and hold, we're creating a selection window that's a bit trickier shape, so it saves me doing two selections. If you want to drop anything out of a selection, you hold the shift key and either do single clicks or do these shapes for selection again. You have to hold the shift key when you're doing the drag one, I just found out. Okay, so selecting is quite easy. You can drop things out and re-add, and drop things out and re-add as many times as you need. Okay, but we're only changing 2 objects, so 2 single clicks is enough. Drop the line down, drop the arrow down I should say, and click the word arm. Make sure you click the word. Now press escape. Okay, the first lines of the truss are offsets of the side of the beam. So let's get in a bit closer. Okay, we want to offset again. So get my offset command. I want a different distance this time. It's 86.5. Press enter. Take the side of the column and go to the left and click again. Press escape, and now put this line onto the arm layer as well. Okay, we want to give the beam, so this part of the truss, some thickness. It's just a single line at the moment. Okay, so offset again, this time by 30 millimeters. Take the line, go to the left and click again. Okay, press escape. Now what we need to do is establish a point at the top of this junction where the truss shape will fly off. So let's get in closer and make sure we pick the correct lines. What we want to do is join this line to the horizontal one. So we'll use the fillet command again. Actually, it was staring me right in the face, it's just here. So fillet, the radius is still sitting at 125. So I need to take that back to 0. Click the word R, click the letter R, enter 0 angle, or 0 radius I should say. Then pick these 2 lines. Pick one, and you can see it's half doing the command for you to let you see what would happen. Okay. With fillet, you need to pick the bits you want to keep. So I need to keep this bit of the line. Okay. What we'll do now is draw a line from this point at a specific angle. So it's L, return. We're going to go from this point. Now the length of the line is kind of arbitrary, but the angle is critical. So let's go at 1800 less than symbol 164.5. Press return. Press return again to stop the command. Okay, that sets up the line that's taking the metalwork back towards the glass. This is where the glass is on the structure. Okay, now I need a line that's coming down here another 54 degrees on from this line. Now I could get my calculator out and add 54 to 164.5. Another way of doing it is to copy this line and rotate it by the 54 degrees. So let's try that. We need the copy command. Pick this line and then press enter because we don't want to copy anything else. The base point for the copy is going to be the junction here, the intersection or end point, but the destination point is actually the same place. We're going to copy it onto itself. So we come back to where we were and pick again. Then press enter to stop the command. So here there is actually two lines. This is a dangerous thing to do in CAD. You don't want to end up with lines on top of lines. But the next thing we're going to do is to rotate it so it's safe enough. So rotate, pick the line and enter. You're not rotating anything else. The base point is the end or the junction here, and the angle we want to go anti-clockwise, so it's a positive number, and the angle 54, and enter. So it's starting to take shape. The last main line is what would normally be the bottom chord of a truss, but these trusses are horizontal. Okay, it's a slightly different setting out point this time. Okay, what we'll do is we'll join this line to here. So we're filleting again. So it's fillet the outer green line to the horizontal. Okay, another line. Let's use our angle setting. So L for line and return. We'll go from this position, and we want to go at, let's go 2400 at an angle of 140.5. Press escape to stop the line command, and it really is shaping up now. There's lots of tidying up to do here. We need to give these elements their thickness, the same with this chord here, and to tidy up the end. So let's establish the thickness of the structure first. Okay, we'll offset this line in by 30, offset this line in by 30, but this is the middle of a piece of metal, so this one's going to go 15 this way, 15 that way. So the offset command is here. It's remembered the number from last time, so I don't need to change it, so I can just press enter, take this line in, this line in, now change your offset distance, return twice, we're offsetting 15 millimeters, and enter, take this line up, make sure you go back to the original middle line, pick it and take it down. Now press escape because we're finished with offset. This middle line's done its job, it's not needed anymore. Click it once and delete. The truss is really taking shape now, but as you can see these lines are much too long and untidy. What I need to do is to try and make a joint appear this side and a joint to go that side. Using fillet, I would lose one end of this line repeatedly. I would just get in a mess. What I need to do first is to break the line so I can tidy up one side and tidy up the other side. So let's get in a bit closer. The break command, I saw it on here. Where is it again? Join, break is somewhere around. I always lose them. So I'm just going to type it in. It shortens to BR for break. Okay, we've got our object snaps active at the moment, which can be a bit tricky with the break command, so maybe switch those off. Okay, we're just going to create a crude gap in the line. So pick here, move, you can see the gap appearing. click again. Now what we want to do is to fillet these together, but the inside of the truss has got welds that are curved, so it makes it just that bit more elegant. So we're going to fillet, but we're going to specify a radius of 25 millimeters. Pick a line, and you can see the result ghosting in. Press return to bring back the command. It's starting to look much more interesting, like a bicycle frame. So all the interior connections are rounded, the exterior ones are angular. So press return and tidy up all your interior connections, returning in between to use the command again. It's nice and quick. Press return again, and the final one, return again, and this will shorten these quite a bit, but it definitely looks, you know, like a sporting bike frame or a motorcycle component, something like that. Let's finish this end of the truss just now. It's finished is with a kind of a snub nose. So if we offset this line this way, we can then use it to tidy up what we have here. So we use the offset command. The distance is 50 millimeters. Take the vertical dash line to the right and click again. Press escape to stop the offset. We could trim here, but filleting is by far the quickest way. So get fillet, obtain your radius back to 0 and enter, and this is where we'll have to pick a bit more carefully. This is the bit of this line I want to keep, so I'm going to pick that first. Pick 1, pick 2, return. This is the bit I want to keep. Pick 1, pick 2, and I've snubbed off the end of the truss. This line's on the wrong layer. Click it once and change it onto the arm layer. Press escape. Roll your mouse, hold your middle mouse, and you can move around the screen. Let's tidy up the junction here now. This is a bit of a simplified version of what actually happens. We're just going to give this some thickness. We'll just make the actual connection to the column be 20 millimeters thick. So offset by 20 millimeters. Pick the green line, go down and pick again. While we've got the offset running, do the same for the lower line. This one's going upwards. So we're keeping the command running. Now press escape. Okay, we can do fillets for these joints, but we'll need to use the pink objects to trim off the green. So we can use fillet. The radius is 0, so we can just use it straight away. Pick, pick, return, pick, pick. Now use the trim command. Pick this pink line, should be able to use that for all 4 green ones, and enter, and then chop off the bits you don't want. Press escape to finish. That looks great. There's a truss on both sides of the column, so let's mirror this shape over to the other side, and the drawing part of the exercise is finished. I'm looking for the mirror command. I can't see its icon as usual, so I'm just going to type in mi, return. I just want to pick the green objects. So if I do a selection from this point using the blue selection, I'll take all these objects. I don't want to flip this pink line over again. I would end up with two of them on this side. So hold shift, pick this line once. Okay, I've got 20 items in total. Press return because I don't want to mirror anything else. And this is where my object snaps are needed back on. So I activate the object snaps because I want to create an exactly vertical mirror line. It could go from the center of that circle. Ortho is on, and you see the ghost flipping depending on where I move the cursor. A safe place to go would be to the end point here. The objects disappear because it's waiting for a reply to a question down in the command prompt. It's saying, do I want to erase the source objects? Do I want to get rid of the truss on the left side? I don't. That's usually the case, and that's why there's an N as the default answer. So just press enter and it should end up with two trusses. Okay, the final part of this tutorial will look at setting up the paper to draw this out for printing. So I'll stop the video just now.